Hey everyone, Natalie here, and I decided to do another video recording for our response this week. So I really enjoyed this week's readings. I found them to be extremely helpful, and I really like how they so nicely tied in with Dr. Peters' lecture this past Thursday. For this video post, I wanted to specifically be sharing some new information I learned on histograms, measures of central tendency, multiple response variables, and also some descriptive statistics. So we're going to start with some histograms. This reading, or the histograms reading, was from the National Center for Children in Poverty, and I thought this reading was really helpful. It provided some great information on graphical and pictorial methods in order to visually represent or display data. And I was specifically intrigued with the use of histograms. So histograms kind of do three things. They visually represent the frequencies with which the values of variables occur. They also make sure that each value of the variable is displayed along the bottom of the histogram, and a bar is drawn for each value. And the last piece is the height of the bar corresponds to the frequency with which that value has occurred. Okay, so that's a little bit of a mouthful, but I really felt like histograms would work perfectly because my data is really kind of seeking to provide frequency report. So I feel like this is something that I'm definitely going to be using within my reporting this coming week. Similarly, this reading also presented measures of central tendency, which were reviewed this past week by Dr. Peter. So now, as we know, right, that there are three measures of central frequency. So the first is mean, which is a sum of variables' values divided by the total number of values. Then there's the median, which is the middle value of a variable. And then the last piece is the mode, which is the value that occurs most often. So that's just a little brief overview on histograms, and I found them extremely helpful. Now I wanted to move on to multiple response variables. So this reading was quite complex, and it was from Statistica. It focused on a variety of aspects pertaining to statistics. But what I really found kind of most interesting, or that really kind of caught my fancy, was the multiple response variables. So within this section, I guess this type of measurement is done through a survey, which we did. It focuses on frequency, which I'm doing, so I guess that's why I made the connection. But for this class, we enacted surveying. Now, within a survey, this type of question provides people with three open-ended questions, open-ended responses. So a surveyor might say, what is your favorite number, for example? So a person could say, list your three favorite numbers. So a person could say, okay, well, maybe 7, 50, and 0 are my favorite numbers. So I felt like this was kind of more of a ratio question, because you can have 0 within your data. So I believe that's correct, but Dr. Peter, correct me if I'm wrong. But in any case, okay, so now that you've presented your surveying, you've collected the data, you have all of these open-ended response variables from your participants. So let's just say that, maybe you have 50 participants, and all of those 50 participants wrote down 50 different answers. In collecting the data, I would need to list every variable, so all 50, and then begin coding each response. From there, I would develop a multiple response frequency table, and then collect my data. Now, before I explain more and run out of time, I just kind of want to stop here and say that this reading was very complex, but I found it to be really helpful, and I bookmarked it to actually refer back to it because I know I'm going to need this in the future. So moving on to descriptive statistics here. Really the two readings, Trochim 2006 and then our descriptive statistics using Microsoft Excel, both really kind of focus on descriptive statistics. So I kind of wanted to mesh those together. But in reviewing Trochim's article, I found her overview on descriptive statistics really nicely tied into, again, Dr. Peters' lecture this past week, when she states that descriptive statistics are used to describe the basic features of data in a study. Um, so descriptive statistics also provide simple summaries about samples and measures. Together with simple graphics and analysis, descriptive statistics really form the basis of virtually every quantitative analysis of data. And like Dr. Peter mentioned, descriptive statistics are specifically used for quantitative descriptions in manageable forms. So that being said, I felt, wow, I'm so glad that we're reviewing descriptive statistics because they are such a foundational component to presenting data. So in essence, descriptive statistics really helps us to simplify large amounts of data into really a simple and concise way. So kind of moving on that same note, within our reading for the Microsoft Excel article, it noted again that descriptive statistics are one of the most fundamental must-knows with any set of data. So I was very happy, Dr. Peter, that we were focusing on descriptive statistics this week because it really helped me out. And then kind of a couple of components when considering descriptive statistics, there's a couple things that we need to know. Number one is the mode, median, and the mean that I kind of went over briefly, the variance and standard deviation, skewedness, count, maximum, and minimum. So in any case, overall, I really gained a lot out of this week's readings, and I'm looking forward to beginning developing my report and also reading yours as well. So thanks for watching. See you guys later. Bye.